Two very powerful storms are striking today, everybody, and this is going to make for dangerous situations. And it's going to be two different situations. Down here in the south, where we're going to get Arthur, still PTC1, still expected to get Tropical Storm Arthur, bringing winds of 40 miles per hour, 52 miles per hour wind gusts. It has shifted a little bit further towards the west. We will go through that as well. I'm still showing it has a chance to strengthen again as it goes through for tomorrow for a short period, just bringing more chances for more thunderstorms, maybe a more tornado threat, but it won't strengthen back up towards a tropical storm, it don't look like, and it will carry out through the southeast, bringing the rainfall. But over here across Midwest and Ohio Valley, the threat's going to bring damaging winds, which we already are getting very powerful winds moving through Iowa right now with these thunderstorms, but also chances for strong and very strong tornadoes, EF2, EF3 plus, and a lot of large hail. So I'm going to go through the latest information, what you can expect from these two storms and the impacts. Now first, the storm in the south, PTC1, it will be Arthur. It did shift even further towards the west. We have the tropical storm watches out over here for Texas, all the way from the Texas-Louisiana border, and tropical storm warnings out over here for Louisiana. Because remember, it's getting hit with a shear from the west, so it's still going to be lopsided and east side loaded, and the storms are going to be a big threat for today over here for Louisiana. Now our cone for our storms, it has shifted as well, and you can see the chance for up to tropical storm force winds. This is up to 39 miles per hour in this blue circle. This is for today going into tomorrow as well, everybody. And you can see we still have the flash flooding happening, considerable threat, bringing a lot of damage so far towards Texas. This is going to grow more for today, bringing more threats, and for the rainfall. The rainfall amounts has shifted, and it's all because of this system shifting further towards the west. So now you can see not only is it coming in from southwestern Louisiana by Lake Charles, but it really shifts over here from Baton Rouge going towards Mississippi into Alabama, into Georgia, and the Florida Panhandle. This is bringing a lot of heavy rain. All this orange is all going anywhere from 5 to 7 inches, and this brown is going anywhere from 7 to 8, maybe even 9 more inches of rainfall coming. Plus to the north, this is going to bring a lot of heavy rainfall as well, and it's going to put y'all into the moderate section also. So official rainfall amounts from National Hurricane Center for the next 3 days. You have the 1 and 2 inches in the light green and the dark green of rainfall. But once you go towards this yellow, this is where you go from that 4 to 6, and then that darker orange right there, 6 to 8. Even a hot spot over here, a little north of Mobile, for 8 to 12 inches of rainfall. The storm surge has not changed. You still got the 1 to 3 feet and the 2 to 4 feet. And you see the latest updates with the Euro, chances for a tropical depression, of course, 100% down here in the south. But you see you still have a chance anywhere from that 50, 60, even that 70% chance of becoming at least a tropical depression again. And this would intensify your rainfall rates over here across the southeast. Now, when you look for chance for a tropical storm, you also can see it has a chance right across the southeast to intensify as that jet stream is pulling this northward and eastward. So it could strengthen again on the way out. In fact, that is exactly what the latest ensembles show, that this is going to come right towards the coast of Texas. We did get that western wobble, but then it's going to get pulled towards the east-northeast when that jet stream gets a hold of it. Then it's going to come further towards the east, showing it's going to weaken back down, but you could still get that low pressure where it's still a tropical depression bringing a lot of moisture. But look how it goes out through the east, and it turns from showing as it goes from a low pressure, it comes back towards a tropical system again, right over here towards Columbia, South Carolina, potentially. So this is a potential that it could strengthen right back up on the way out. Showing on the latest hurricane panel that as we go through for this afternoon, this is where you could get a lot of winds over here across southwestern Louisiana while you're getting the storms brewing up across southern and eastern Louisiana, bringing that tornado threat all evening long. Then for tomorrow, this is going to transition across southern Mississippi, go into southern Alabama, the Panhandle of Florida, by the time we go through tomorrow evening, bringing all this heavy rainfall. Now, we still have the winds to the north, but over here along the south, we have chances for 50, 60, even 70 miles per hour wind gusts. You see how it has shifted further west towards Texas, southwestern Louisiana, and this will affect you for tomorrow as this comes across for the southeast, bringing 50, 60, even 70 miles per hour wind gusts in some of these storm cells. Over here from Mississippi, Alabama, the Panhandle of Florida, and Georgia, even going through the Carolinas. Still showing we going on that break after we deal with this, everybody. And you can see this. We got the dust that's moving in off the MDR, off the coast of Africa. And you see it comes in again for July, all the way towards the middle of July. We have one area right here that might try and do something as we go through the very end of June, right here into the Caribbean. I think it's something very weak, nothing really to worry about. And you can see the Pacific really fires up as we go through July. But we also have areas over on the Central American and its eastern side where something could happen later into maybe after the 10th of July. So after we deal with what we're dealing with now, this hurricane season on the Atlantic side is going to quiet down to at least the 10th of July. Showing that we have dust still rolling through the eastern Caribbean that will go into our Gulf as well as we go through the 23rd and the 24th. Then another big plume of dust coming into the eastern Caribbean by the time you go through the 25th. That one's even bigger. That could affect Puerto Rico. So make sure you pay attention for that going all the way towards the Caribbean again. So we're going to see this motion like this all the way towards the beginning of July, probably the first week to 10 days of July. You can even see on the ensembles as we go by this weekend, as that goes offshore, still a chance for that to strengthen as that goes offshore, everybody. That's a good chance of that. We got to watch for that. Showing that after this, it's going to be a big high pressure of dust and warm temperatures and just pushing everything towards the west, blocking the Gulf, blocking the Caribbean, and all formations will be into the eastern Pacific after this. Now our severe weather threat for today is going to be another strong storm. And you see our tornado threat for today. We have chances for tornadoes across the south, also across the north. The significant severe in this black hatched area, chances for strong tornadoes, EF2. This is the white line below. And the EF3 or greater in this black hatched area, also with this 15% tornado risk. This is the gray line below. So here's your cities and states at risk for the tornado threat for today. And there are a lot of cities at risk. Also the wind threat. You have a marginal down here for the south, but we still have significant severe down here towards the north, where you see up to 75 miles per hour wind gusts or greater in this 30%. We're already seeing close to that going through Iowa. So here's your cities and states at risk for the winds for today. And the hail threat as well. Significant severe, 2 inches in diameter in this black hatched area, maybe a little greater over here in this red section. So here's your cities and states at risk for the hail threat for today. And still showing the winds aloft are going to be the main driver of this storm system staying strong all morning long. That's why you had strong thunderstorms all night to the early morning hours, but this picks right back up again as we go through this evening across Indiana, Michigan, then it stretches into Ohio. So this is going to be a very powerful storm, very strong winds aloft. This is going to help bring a lot of damage and winds, also strengthen our tornado threat. That's why we have a very strong threat for today. Then for tomorrow, you see with the upper level winds, that is will affect the interior northeast with thunderstorms. Then for tomorrow evening, it moves towards New England with thunderstorms and it leaves the northeast. So you should be aware if you're in New England, it will transition towards you. Showing as we go through this morning, these thunderstorms will continue into Illinois, southern Wisconsin, and you see where your tornado chances, if any cells pop up in front of there, and we do have one in central Illinois, that's a great chance to become a chance of a tornado. And look how that strengthens as we go through the evening through Indiana as well. So as we go through the evening, you can see we get that straight line damage and wind event, the squall line, but we also have a lot of singular cells, even semi-discrete cells moving along with this. You can see how this separates to a lot of supercells along this line of storms. Right here from Michigan, you could get a little bit of winds for western Michigan, but that's pretty much a cluster of storms. But you see how it strengthens up later towards southern Michigan, northern Indiana, through central Illinois and through Missouri. This is where your tornado threat will be heightened for a strong tornado as you go through the later evening hours, everybody. And then it becomes a damage and wind event as you go through later tonight for southern Illinois, southern Indiana, moving through Ohio, then plus what's happening along the southern side of the U.S. with Arthur. Then you can see for tomorrow, it picks right back up towards the northeast, but it weakens down and becomes an interior northeast and New England event as we go through for tomorrow evening, bringing a threat for damage and winds and some hail with that as well. So for tomorrow, for Thursday, we have a tornado threat, but it is going to be over here along the south for the tropical system. So here's your cities and states at risk for the tornado threat for tomorrow, for Thursday. We also have a wind threat for tomorrow, and this is going to be mostly towards mid-Atlantic, going towards the northeast. So here's your cities and states at risk for the winds for tomorrow as well. And this is right where these strong damage and winds are picking up for today, going towards tomorrow, also across the north. bringing a lot of winds. And then the next shortwave trough still coming through for Saturday, everybody, bringing our next severe weather risk. So far, here's your cities and states at risk for that as well. Now, this is going to bring some flooding for the south, also for the north. And you see the rainfall coming across the south, but you also have it over here for eastern Iowa, going through Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio. And you see this here, all the heavier rainfall that's coming for the rest of today. Also for tomorrow, some very serious flooding and still life-threatening flash flooding, so please be aware driving on the roads. And over here for the north, this is going to put you into a flooding risk as well. Then we have the next system coming through as we go through for this weekend. This is going to bring more heavy rainfall. So your flooding threat for today has grown. So you have a marginal for flash flooding over here for Arizona, western New Mexico. You also have the marginal, the slight risk, even the moderate level risk for the flash flooding for the storms to the north. Showing you moderate level risk will include Chicago, Gary, Indiana. Be aware of this, all the way towards Aurora. So there's going to be some flooding that you need to watch out for, plus the slight risk, everybody. Across the south, we still have the big moderate level risk and a big slight risk for flash flooding. So be aware for today. This is going to bring some big problems, everybody. This is going to be there for tomorrow as well, but this is where it grows. It goes all the way from the south, all the way towards the Tennessee, Kentucky Valley, and this is a big slight risk, but the moderate level risk is going to be from Mississippi, going through Alabama, western Georgia, the panhandle of Florida, with a slight risk in the marginal going towards Tallahassee. So you are getting some rainfall that you do need, but it will bring flooding, so be aware of this. And as you go through for Friday, it's going to be there again, bringing a slight risk for Texas. But you see this moderate level risk just sticking right over eastern Mississippi, over Alabama, just bringing you a big flooding problem. So you need to be aware of this. This is going to add up to some serious problems. Then as we go through for Saturday, we're going to talk about that next storm system coming through, and Sunday bringing a flooding risk as well. And that is your latest updates, everybody. Thank you again for your time. I appreciate your support. Hope you have a great day today. Please be aware of these storms for today. And before I go, a quick word from our Father, everybody. A quick reminder for those that don't know. John 14:6. Jesus saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. Amen. Have a great day, everybody. Make sure you check on your neighbors, check on the pets. Always help others. And remember, above all things, all glory does go to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I always hope He keeps you safe every single day of your life and forever. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Have a great day, everybody. Be safe.